YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with yet another Washington football team video, and in today's video, we're fresh off the loss versus the Los Angeles Rams. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 reasonable trade destinations that could revolve around Dwayne Haskins, since there are rumors that we are looking to move him. So, without further ado, let's get straight to today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case our Washington football team. And let's get straight to today's video. Roll the intro, baby. We are Washington. Let's get it.
We Washington, we Washington, we Washington, we Washington, man, we Washington.
So, before we even talk about Dwayne Haskins, we gotta sum up yesterday's game. And I know a lot of people don't want to blame Ron Rivera for that game yesterday, but this is the same guy that said he wanted to go to Kyle Allen because we had a chance to win this division. And yeah, I understand Kyle Allen got hurt, but when he got cleared to come back and play, we were down 20-10. The defense just got a great stop coming out of half. That's what we needed. We were losing 20-10. They got ball at half, and we got a great stop. Montez Sweat came off the edge and got a strip sack. Although we didn't recover it, they came out and got a great stop, and they set the tone. Kyle Allen gets cleared to play. And his excuse for not putting Kyle Allen back in is because he didn't want him to take a big shot. He didn't want him to get even more hurt. But then you go and put your quarterback, Alex Smith, in the game, who hasn't played a game in almost 2 calendar years, that's coming off of a career-threatening injury, a career-ending injury for most people, and you put him out there. Not to mention, the offensive line is playing horrible. The rain is playing a big factor. It's just so much was stacked up against Alex Smith, and the same would have been for Kyle Allen, but I would have felt more comfortable with Kyle Allen being back there because he has the mobility that Alex Smith doesn't desire, well, at least at this point in his career. You know what I'm saying? And it just didn't seem like Ron Rivera wanted to win this game. You know what I'm saying? 4th and 1, and you're at the 40-yard line. I know the 4th and 1, he said it was longer than what you thought, but you got to go for that, man. Show that you actually want to win this game. You know what I'm saying? Offensive coordinator Scott Turner, man, he really called a bad game yesterday, in my opinion. Yeah, I understand the rain plays a factor, but you gotta call some more plays for Alex Smith to get him in a groove. You think just because he's a veteran quarterback, you can call all drop back plays. No. The last week when they were calling all these screens and quick slants, all that last week, this would have been the perfect week to call all of those plays this week for Alex Smith and even Kyle Allen. But Alex Smith, since Kyle Allen wasn't in, especially his first game back in almost 2 years, you gotta call plays like the slants, the quick slants, the screen, stuff like that. We didn't even do none of that. You think just because he's a veteran, he can drop back. But Scott Turner, a lot of people want him gone already. And can I blame you? Because, I mean, yeah, I understand it's only 5 weeks and it's only year 1. But it's just like, man, you got to call a better game. So, that's enough about that game, man. We got to put that behind us. And let's get straight into today's main point. What would be some realistic options? I have 3. But what would be some realistic options for Dwayne Haskins if we were to trade him? In my opinion, the first trade option that would make sense is the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion. Honestly, I don't see us getting nothing higher than the fifth, maybe a 4th round pick for Dwayne Haskins. A lot of people want to say a 2nd round pick, the Josh Rosen effect and stuff like that. But I don't even know why Miami gave up a 2nd round pick for Josh Rosen. The Cardinals just straight up finessed him. And I don't think that Dwayne Haskins would get the same treatment, especially with all this coming out about how he's not a team player, how he's unfollowing the team on social media and unfollowing players, the coaches, and the way he's just been acting, the way he's been bragging about his stat sheet even when we lose, stuff like that. You know, that plays a factor in whether or not he's going to get picked up if we do, in fact, want to trade him. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it happens, that plays a major factor into whether he gets picked up or not. So, the first team on my list, like I said, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I feel like one of the best destinations for him would be Pittsburgh. Why, you may ask? Because Ben Roethlisberger is balling right now. He has maybe, in my opinion, 2 to 3 years left. And Dwayne Haskins, they compare him to Ben Roethlisberger. So it's like if you get Dwayne Haskins in there and Ben Roethlisberger is ready to retire, then you can stick Dwayne Haskins in there. Not to mention that he's going to be behind Ben Roethlisberger for 3, maybe 2 years. And Ben Roethlisberger is without a question a future Hall of Famer, so he can learn as much as he wants from a guy like Ben Roethlisberger. Learn the playbook that Pittsburgh like to run and just stuff like that. Learn things, learn how to grow up, and learn how to become a better player behind Big Ben. That's one of the best players to sit behind, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Next team on my list that we could possibly trade Dwayne Haskins to is the Indianapolis Colts. Now, a theme that we're going to be talking about here in this video, I only have a couple, but as you're going to see as I name all these teams, are quarterbacks that are on their way out. You know, Indianapolis has Phillip Rivers, and they could possibly be looking for another quarterback in the next 2 to 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And like I said again, maybe they don't want to draft another quarterback. So they could be very well traded for Dwayne Haskins, letting them sit behind yet another Hall of Famer quarterback, future Hall of Fame quarterback, and let him learn. Yeah, here come a lot of people that's going to say Jacoby Brissett this, Jacoby Brissett that. But I feel personally that Jacoby Brissett has reached his ceiling as a starting quarterback, a quarterback in this league. And I feel as though that Jacoby Brissett is a forever backup quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he can be a starting quarterback in this league. They tried it with him, and it didn't work out that well for them. That's why they got Phillip Rivers. So, quite frankly, honestly speaking, Dwayne Haskins going to Indianapolis doesn't seem that far-fetched if, in fact, we are going to trade him and they are even interested. I could possibly see us sneaking out a 4th-round pick for Dwayne Haskins. And Dwayne Haskins can learn behind Phillip Rivers, possibly become a good quarterback or even a quarterback of the future for the Indianapolis Colts. You know what I'm saying? It's not likely to happen. I don't know. You don't know. But I'm just giving you my opinion. And I feel as though that Indianapolis could be a very good destination for Dwayne Haskins Jr. Now, the next team on my list that may be interested in Dwayne Haskins is the New York Jets. Now, I know a lot of people are looking at me crazy right now, but the New York Jets might have the 1st-round pick, and it's looking like they have the 1st-round pick, but the latest draft board that I looked at, the Falcons had the 1st-round pick, the Giants had the 2nd overall pick, and then the Jets had the 3rd overall pick, and we had the 4th overall pick. So, maybe the Jets want to move on from Sam Darnold and possibly trade for Dwayne Haskins. I'm not saying it's likely. The Jets are going to have the 1st overall pick or the 2nd overall pick, and in that case, they could probably take Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence. But if somehow they fall to the 3rd pick or the 4th pick, and teams in front of them need quarterbacks, they could possibly trade for one Dwayne Haskins and then get Dwayne Haskins in there, get their new head coach in there. If they in fact fire Adam Gase, I don't know what's taking so long for the Jets to fire him, but I'm gonna just say that they fired him, right? So get Dwayne Haskins in there, get your new head coach in there, whether that's Eric Bieniemy or whoever it's gonna be. Then you load him up with some weapons, then you'll be good. I mean, you already have Denzel Mims there. I mean, it's a rebuild in New York. So maybe Dwayne Haskins could fit in with that rebuild and possibly lead them to something great in the next couple of years. I don't know. I doubt it. I feel like they're going to go with a Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. But just in case they don't get Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence, they could trade for Dwayne Haskins and he could possibly be a good fit for them in New York. That a lot of people are forgetting about and that could possibly trade for Dwayne Haskins, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say they still have Matt Ryan, but you got to think, they just fired Dan Quinn. They just fired their GM. Matt Ryan is old. He isn't going to be there for much longer, and a lot of Falcons fans want Matt Ryan gone. And who's to say that they don't trade for Dwayne Haskins? Now, I know they could probably be bad enough. That's another team that could possibly be bad enough to get Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence or maybe even Trey Lance. So that's also a factor. But say they don't go quarterback 1st round. They could trade for Dwayne Haskins. He has Julio Jones. He has Calvin Ridley. And he has Hayden Hurst also. And he has Todd Gurley out the backfield. So they have some offensive weapons. Who's to say that they don't trade for Dwayne Haskins and then, spend that 1st round pick on maybe a cornerback or a linebacker, just something on the defensive end, something that creates some pressure, maybe an edge rusher or something, maybe an offensive lineman and Panasa well to get Dwayne Haskins some protection. That's, in my opinion, other than Pittsburgh, that seems like the most realistic option if I was an Atlanta Falcons fan or Atlanta Falcons GM, because Dwayne Haskins has some upside. But if he can sit behind Matt Ryan, notice how I said all these quarterbacks, they're sitting behind future Hall of Famers, or he's sitting behind future Hall of Famers. I know Matt Ryan being a future Hall of Famer is questionable, but also, in my opinion, I feel like he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. So, let Dwayne Haskins sit behind Matt Ryan for a couple years with these guys, with Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, who's going to be in his prime by the time that he possibly could take over for that team. You know, draft a defensive player to help out that defense. That he has Hayden Hurst. He's loaded on offense. You know what I'm saying? So that is probably the best situation for Dwayne Haskins if, in fact, we do trade him to Atlanta. But if we were to trade him to Atlanta, that's the team that I could possibly see us getting the highest draft pick or highest compensation for Dwayne Haskins out of, because they have weapons there. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to come in here and talk quickly about a couple of teams as this, saga continues. Whether we trade them or not, I don't know. If you're asking me for my opinion whether we're going to trade them or not, or if we should trade them, I'm in the middle. I'm neutral about it. If we trade them, okay, so be it. See you later. I'm not attached to him anymore. I was so attached to him, but now I'm not. The way he played on the field and the way he, carries himself off the field, I'm so over Dwayne Haskins. Now, if we do keep him, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Give him another chance, maybe. But Atlanta makes the most sense. Let me know what you guys think down below. What would be a great trade scenario for Dwayne Haskins? I know a lot of other people out there are going to tell me some other teams too, so I'm eager to hear what you guys got to say. So as always, it's me, boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hail to the Washington football team. I'm out. Peace.